Everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Warramai First Nations people. It's WORIMI, and welcome to you, your guides in the universal energies. Okay, entertainment only. For those that are new, I try to keep these quicker than 15 minutes. Don't seem to succeed very often, but the idea is that you can then pick and choose what videos you want to watch. So I just do the one and done topic. So thank you for joining me. First of all, my heart goes out to the Swedish people. There was a mass event in Sweden overnight. 10 were deceased. Now, I do apologise about talking in code. The censors are being pretty rigorous at the moment. So my heart absolutely goes out to the people in Sweden. I gather it was targeted was a adult school for those wanting primary and secondary schooling education. So we're very much targeting immigrants into Sweden is my field. The police in Sweden, of course, not putting it in such terms. Apparently 45 and Netanyahu have met at well, I don't know where they met. I assume it's in Washington or Mar-a-Lago. I'm not sure. Haven't really looked into it, but I did see that 45 has come out and said no guarantee of that the peace will hold. Yeah, well, that was on the cards the entire time because we know that they're eyeing off the Gaza Strip for other purposes, hotels, a shipping channel, the oil and gas off the Gaza coast, etc. So no surprises there whatsoever. Very quickly, a couple of you mentioned about with I think a couple of you in the hotter desert states of the US said, "Oh, it's hard. Can't really grow veggies outside." To hydroponic vegetable growing. Um, when if you want to, you will find a way. So, or inside in a enclosed area, something. When there's a will, there's a way. I do know in New Mexico there has been what do they call it? Earth ships or something where they have like greenhouses where they have a setup with the hydroponics with the fish and the vegetable growing, etc. and helps cool the property. Doesn't mean you have to go down that path. I'm just talking about when there's a way, when there's a will, there's a way. But a few of you have said about putting solar energy back into the network because, to be honest, this is the reason why some certain conservative governments don't like renewable energy, because if you have solar panels on your roof or some little wind turbines or something along those lines, they have no control over your energy production. Few of you have said, "Oh, my energy company charges for me to put energy into the grid." Well, perhaps start looking at a battery or something along those lines, or lobbying your local government for a community network battery or something along those lines. And a few have said with the solar panels on farmland. In Australia, we've got solar panels on farmland. Yes, it stops broadacre cropping, so the big sort of soybean, wheat type crops. But what happens is that we find it's actually more productive land because it stops the frost from settling, it stops the evaporation of moisture out of the soil, and it provides shade. So what's happening in Australia is we find it's actually becoming even more productive with sheep farming, with berry growing, with farming that benefits from those conditions. So thinking outside the box. Okay, what I want to have a look at in this particular reading, the Save Act. Yeah, the Save Act. Trying to, what is that, Five of Pentacles, trying to disenfranchise, trying to get people off the rolls. It's just this, where they keep it all for the elite. It it's very much about outcasting. Um, might be some legal action in regards to the Save Act. I hope so, because this is quite a determined looking individual bringing forward some legal action and some volatile information being brought forward about a certain somebody's involvement in the election still. This is my overseas interference in regards to the votes. And a lot of information coming out about the wannabe emperor that's to do with treason, heartbreak, and ending up with in a not very comfortable position. So I want to have a look at the SAVE Act. It's been returned to the US Congress House. If you don't know what the SAVE Act is, it's requiring all voters who provide physical proof of citizenship to re-register to vote. The proof of citizenship must match the voting registration, and you can use either passport or birth certificate. Now, birth certificate is required to get a passport, so it's pretty much one and the same. Well, 140 million voters don't have a passport, and nearly 70 million voters have a name, ergo women, have a name on their birth certificate other than their current name. So I'm not quite sure if you need to then take a marriage certificate as well, but this is making things extremely onerous. And I think what will happen is you would then need to provide that proof of citizenship when you go down to vote. So if it doesn't match, tough bickies, you're out of luck. Goodness me, in Australia, it's so easy. You go down, you say your name, you say your address, they tick you off. You don't need to prove you are who you are. They tick you off, they give you 2 ballots and a marker, 2 forms and a marker, and you go into your booth and you tick and cross your paper form. I think it's a tick. I don't think a cross qualifies. You actually have to tick, or you can number who you prefer to your least preferred if you want. And then you take that piece of paper and you put it in a secure ballot box, and that piece of paper is counted. There's no computer machinery or anything like that. And we have compulsory voting as well, which means you actually get that middle sector voting. You don't just get the 2 extremes. Okay, but Canada, about time you went back to that system. Okay, the SAVE Act. Is the SAVE Act going to get through? I think it'll get through the House, but I'm going to ask, will it get through Congress? I'm feeling it won't get through the Senate for some reason. But I do see a certain somebody signing an executive order again, not legal, an executive order to make it so. Now, this is the same somebody who way back when Obama was president, oh gosh, I miss those days, declared that a president that issued executive orders was a weak president. Okay, will the SAVE Act get through Congress? Let's have a look. Will it get through Congress? 4 of Wands. I know it can be in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith card. It is about celebration, etc. But I think what's happening here is that it's what it is. So this side is the here and now. This side is going forward. It's an act to attempt to limit everyday citizens from voting. First of all, because you'd have to find the time to go down to your local registration office and re-register. It's also would nullify mail-in voting because of the fact that you need to provide proof. So therefore, you'd actually have to physically go and vote. So this is an act in an attempt to really restrict Challenged by the Queen of Wands. So there may be, just going to see if I can get some better light on those cards. Got my little pickup happening down here. Hopefully these cards are light enough for you. I'll just see if I can get up ever so slightly, makes things not particularly. Sorry about this. I'll just bring my mouse mat over. Pop there. See if there it goes. Right. See if I can get these cards a little bit brighter for you. Okay. So whoever this Queen of Wands is, the challenge is, I think there's going to be a challenge. Challenge in Congress in regards to this act. Bringing forward real information about this act. The energy at the foundation that they're stewing in at the moment, it's about weighing up who they believe, I'm talking about the Republicans, who they believe should be able to vote. It's voter manipulation at its worst. In the past, we've got rejecting what was on offer. This is the second time this act's been introduced, and it was rejected the first time. They tried to bring it forward prior to the November elections. But this is about those in charge deciding who can vote. I don't know that it'll get through the overarching energy. So she's bringing, whoever this female figure is that is bringing forward this message, challenging message. I don't think it's going to get through the whole of Congress. I'll ask about the House and the Senate in a minute. Senate separately in a minute. I don't think it'll get through all of Congress. There is some sort of guardrails here that they're going to have to surrender to with this message. The immediate future, it is an attempt to steal. It's an attempt to subvert. This may even be, okay, thank you. The immediate future, I'm getting that this is a certain somebody, Felon 45, signing the executive order to get it through. Externally, yeah, there's the Emerald King. That's my Leon Muskrat card, President Muskrat. And internally, yeah, it's about manipulating the elections. Oh boy, oh boy. However, hopes and fears. Again, we've got this feminine energy bringing forward something that she hasn't yet revealed. There's going to be a fight in regards to this. President Muskrat is going to have to defend the position, or the executive order is going to have to defend. We've got the Empress card. It's my Russia card. Trying to pull the wool over the eyes. Seven of Cups. The smoke and mirrors in regards to this choice. But be careful what you wish for with the Nine of Cups. And it being stopped. Something being stopped here. I feel it will get... Okay, I'm going to ask House, Senate, Executive Order. I'll just do... Show me, will the SAVE Act... Well, I'm going to say yes. Decision needs to be made about which path they're going to take. And here is the decision being made. Will the SAVE Act get through? Card of the month, card of the 6th month. Yeah, it's just destruction. It's just destruction of showing the destruction. What's happening is the US is in the middle of finding out the shaky foundations of its constitution and its checks and balances that are failing, which means once this is all over, can be rebuilt in a stronger fashion. But let's have a look. Will the Save Act get through the Congress House? Will the Save Act get through the Congress House? They want that card. They're working on it. Working on it behind the scenes. That's a big yes. Something unexpected out of left field being brought forward. Or perhaps this is yes, unexpectedly. Now, I do have to wonder when the Democrats were locked out the other day what was actually being voted on. But the unexpected, legal action being taken about in regards to this and the infighting. Will it pass the House? I'm feeling yes, but it's also not the end of it. So that it may be sent back to the House from the Congress and being told to rethink this. An attempt that my way or the highway attempt at control. It's also Trump with the executive order, which is going to just lead into a cesspit fight. Okay, let's have a look. Ooh, trying to defend the decision. It's not going to end well. It's going to end as sort of truth comes out, sort of legal action potentially. Is this Save Act going to... Wow, I was asking about Congress and we've got the death card and the Queen. I don't think it's going to get through the Senate. Sorry, the strength card, the strength holding firm. And then we had the boundaries pushing it back to the House. So is it going to get through to is it going to get through the Senate? Is the Save Act going to get through the Senate? Is the Save Act going to get through the Senate? Right, trying to restrict. However, there's work going on behind the scenes. Here's this female card. Restoring, well, this is checks and measures and balance. We've got, Muskrat attempting to, President Muskrat. Muskrat's cute. I need to find a new name for him. F. Elon. F. Elon. Felon. Doesn't really orally translate. But yeah, he's got his paws all over this. However, something new coming forward. I think they're going to reject it. I think they're going to send it back in an attempt to bring closure to this decision. Yeah, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, the House decision being restricted. Okay, so I'm getting the Senate is going to push back on it. Will Felon 45 sign an executive order regarding the Save Act? Will Felon 45 resort to executive order for this? Oh, that's a yes. A yes card. He sees it as, after deriding past presidents who used the executive order ability, he now sees it as a sign of strength. Will Felon 45? Well, he's going to put it out there. Beware the false knight bearing the Knight of Cups. Not necessarily your friend. But yeah, again, another yes. I think he's going to. The High Priestess, however, secrets are going to be revealed. Retreat. Be careful what you wish for. the manipulation, the naivety, the with the Six of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the mercenary actions coming to an end. Heartbreak, loss, despair, betrayal, truth, temperance, tower moment, and investigation about connections with Russia. It's my Harris card, taking control out of something out of left field. I'm going to say yes, he will, but there's stuff coming. There is stuff coming for him. Again, exposing the flaws, the shaky foundation, the quicksand that the US Constitution and checks and balances is built on. So, okay, I'm going to leave it there. I feel the House will put it through. I feel the Senate will push it back. And Felon 45 will give them the double bird, sign it. But things are not going to end well for Felon 45. And I feel it will just, a lot of these executive orders that he's putting through will be scrapped or replaced with stronger actual legislation. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you for joining me. I shall catch you shortly.